crypto markets is heating up. If you have been paying attention to what is happening on chain, you see everywhere we are seeing bullish trends across the board. Everything is heating up. As you can see with my last videos that I uploaded, I got stopped out with putting a short on the Bitcoin trade, and I got stopped out. Thankfully, I had a stop loss, so that took me out. But I was 100% wrong on that analysis, and I was looking for a short and a pullback to the lower lows, but we didn't have that on Bitcoin. So now we are looking at what Bitcoin is doing right now, and you can see Bitcoin seems to be consolidating right now around the $109,000 levels, and that is quite telling us what is happening in the near term. And looking at the RSI, we seem to be pointing downwards, so we expect probably further short-term consolidation and movement to the sideways on the Bitcoin chart. But what is interesting now that we are seeing, especially when you look at the Bitcoin dominance, we seem to be going to the downside, and that is telling us and that's giving us an indication of what is happening in the altcoin market, because we already understand and we notice that once Bitcoin starts to go sideways and once the Bitcoin dominance is coming down on Bitcoin, what always happens, because money always flows from Bitcoin, people that make money on Bitcoin, they always go to the altcoins and they look for further gains and further things to capitalize on the market volatility. And that's what we are seeing across the board. As you can see on the daily crypto bubbles, and you can see across the board, we have green almost everywhere. Everything looks bullish and everything looks primed for an upward season and upward movement. And what are we seeing with Ethereum? Ethereum must be looking incredibly bullish after we've come down from the trend line. Starting from, we had a downward trend from last year December 2024, and you can see we have broken out of that trend line channel, and now and that was in May 8th, and now we now have a bullish uptrend for Ethereum. And as you can see with Ethereum right now, we are just moving sideways where we have spotted here, and this is now telling us that we might be going upward further. So right now we have a resistance level on Ethereum, and we have to break out from this channel that I've already indicated here of 2,800. So once we are looking at this channel and once we break out from this zone of Ethereum, and we test the 2,800 and we confirm that as support, then I believe upside is much more in the cards for Ethereum. So this is just in telling me what is going on in Ethereum. As you can see with the CPR indicator right here, even with Ethereum, we look very, very bullish. So we are expecting much more movement in the Ethereum, and this is just giving me a lot of bullish vibes. I see a lot of utility tokens on the Ethereum chain also pumping, and as you can see here, everything looks primed for much more movement. Looking at the fear and greed index, we still in this greed zone, but we have not yet gotten into extreme greed. So this is all these bullish indicators is just showing us that Ethereum is primed for upward movement. Let's just look at the RSI and see what that is telling us on the Ethereum chart. We'll look for the RSI, and just we'll go to the indicators, looking for the indicators and what that is telling us for Ethereum. And what do we see here? We seem to be going upwards movement, although we seem to be dipping right now, but I believe it is in the cards for us to move upwards for Ethereum, and this is just informing me that Ethereum is moving much more upside. So we'll be taking a long on Ethereum right now, and this is what we are betting for Ethereum, because we believe Ethereum should be going upwards very, 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 very imminent. This is imminent in the near term for Ethereum, and that is showing us. Looking at the liquidity, you can see that there's a lot of liquidation zones on Bitcoin charts, and this is just informing us more for Ethereum what is going to happen. So let's just look at our levels and what we are looking to take for on Ethereum trade. So we look at the level of around 2,000 there. We put our stop loss very, very short, very, very minimal to the bottom of, so we enter the trade here, and we put our stop loss very, very tight stop loss at 2,700 levels for a upside to around $3,000. So we are expecting a movement on Ethereum like this, and this is what is informing us. This is where we'll be taking the stop loss. Our take profit will be around the $3,000 levels, and we'll put a tight stop loss right at 2,700. Yes, we have entered the trade right now with Ethereum, and we are looking at the entry, at our entry, and how and once our orders gets entered, we have already entered the order and it's still open order, but it has not yet gotten into position. So we should be looking at how that would enter the trade, and that will give us a bullish confirmation to the upside. We are expecting much more bullish movement on Ethereum, so we should. So this is giving us, there's a lot of bullish signs and a lot of things happening in the market. We look at Bitcoin again, still consolidating and still moving to the sideways. So we expect further sideways movement or even a pullback to the downside of maybe $108,000 levels. And this will be anticipating, and this is just priming Ethereum for a further move to the upside. So this is what we are seeing on the Ethereum trade, and this is what we are looking at. And we'll continue to monitor the trades, monitor everything across the market. And I'm here always showing up every day, giving you analysis, giving you trades, giving you positions, giving you opportunities for you to make generational wealth from this. And again, as I said, we are already opened our long on Ethereum with a 5x leverage on the Ethereum trade, and we'll be taking profit around the $3,000 levels because we expect a pullback in the imminent term around the $3,000 levels on Ethereum trade. This is what I have for you today. These are the positions, and these are the opportunities that we have spotted in the charts across the crypto market. Ethereum is really bullish. We are expecting further movement in the Ethereum. We will take profit around the $3,000 levels, and this is what we are here for. We will see you in the video tomorrow, where we'll be showing you how, if our trade was, we got into the trade, and if we are making money on Ethereum. Ethereum is bullish. Ethereum is here to stay. We are here to make money. Follow me. I'll see you in the video tomorrow. Peace.